Hello all and welcome to Learn Biomedical YouTube channel as well as Learn Biomedical Facebook page. I am Sandesh, so I'll be talking about various things related to biomedical engineering. So before I start biomedical engineering, so we need to understand something like what exactly is biomedical engineering as such. So when you look into academic perspectives, so biomedical engineering is something like a multidisciplinary or an interdisciplinary course of study where a student can or is going to get exposed onto various streams of subjects, including basics, fundamental subjects like physics, chemistry, biology and mathematics, as well as the complicated subjects related to electronics and robotics, as well as instrumentation engineering as such. So when you look at this particular flow chart here, so I have mentioned a couple of topics on this particular flow chart. So whatever I'm going to represent here or presenting it to you is just a mere sketch of what exactly it looks like. But when you dig deeper and deeper, there are many other sub courses availabilities in biomedical engineering stream, because when you look at this particular flow chart, whatever I have explained is a mere tip of an iceberg. When you look in deeper and deeper level, the application part in this particular stream will open up into a whole new branch altogether. So those application oriented streams I have just cut short of it because there are numerous of applications involved in this particular stream. And the people who are really passionate about learning how human body works and what can a person or a biomedical engineer in general can contribute to the health of health and well-being of a human. So this particular course really gets very much interested. And also those who prefer to pertain or continue learning medical concepts as well as engineering things, I prefer in specific to get yourself enrolled in this biomedical engineering course. But before going on to this, let me just briefly explain you this particular flow chart. Here in the first sense, you can see the basic 4 subjects over here. I have forgot to add mathematics. So mathematics is the base for all the engineering subjects as such. So when you look at here in this basic 4 major subjects, you can see physics there. And I have forgot to add chemistry also. That's also very essential here. I forgot to add these things because all these physics, chemistry and biology are the basic subjects which the student will be learning in his pre-university course or a standard 12th standard course or standard 12 course. So after that, when he enrolls himself for this engineering course, in particularly biomedical engineering, choosing it, so they'll be undergoing 2 semesters in the first year for physics as well as chemistry subjects separately, and they themselves have the laboratories and all those features which I'm going to talk about in the upcoming session. So here you can see that there is physics. So when you are going to understand the physics, so you need to really go through the physical aspects of the world around you. So for that, in order to measure what is happening around you, you need to make certain instruments and certain devices which we basically called as sensors. So these sensors will pick up the signals which are available around you, around the surroundings, and then it gives you some value so that based on those value are going to correspond what exactly is that signal or what exactly is that information which you want to decode yourself into. And while working on the sensors part, you will also understand certain biophysical aspects also, because these sensors or these actuators or whatever instruments which we are going to design in particular is going to be applied to a human body. So based on that, there are biological aspects also which we need to understand. So that's where biophysics comes into picture. And also certain concepts related to fluid dynamics is very, very essential here, because when you look at human body, almost major part of human body consists of water as well as blood, so which is used in circulation of essential nutrients to the cells, and also bloodstream is where you are going to inject certain drugs to cure certain diseases also in the future. So all these things is very, very essential, which comes under the banner of physics. So concepts on physical aspects and abstraction of the information available around the environment pertaining to the human well-being is very, very essential. So then when we look on the second thing over here, I have mentioned electronics here. So when you look at electronics, one needs to be able to understand like what exactly is electronics and how is it different from physics. Because when you look at electronics, so electronics is a part of physics actually. It's a sub stream of science or study. So when you look at electronics, so you need to understand basics of electronics, like how basic electrical or electronic components work, and how exactly is these components being designed to make a module or a prototype of that of an instrument, and then all these instruments are clubbed together to apply to particular problems which is being faced by a human. So electronics is very essential. So when you look at electronics, even this part I haven't mentioned here is like so instrumentation part. What I am going to explain here is that these instruments can be used in imaging, and they can be used to design robotic tools or robotic equipments as such, as well as it can be used in MEMS. So MEMS is a stream wherein you are going to implement certain sensors for measuring biological phenomenons or biological applications. Okay, so next part which I'm going to stress on is biology. So if one is really passionate on biology only, he can come into this particular stream. And moreover, biology in the sense in order to understand what is essential for humans in particular, because basically our human body consists of various chemical elements, and human chemistry is also very, very essential for us, for our well-being itself. And in particularly biochemistry, wherein the transmission of whatever information or whatever signals happening inside the human body is basically done by these chemical reactions. So biochemistry is a very essential part. And also we need to understand what exactly are the physicalities of a human being. So in the sense, we need to understand the anatomical aspects also, because these anatomical aspects will in turn lead us to developing certain prototypes or certain projects or certain modules, or insert certain products to diagnose as well as detect some curable diseases in general. So anatomy as well as physiology. Physiology in the sense, we need to understand the working of those particular organs present in the human body, because understanding the human organs as well as its working is very, very essential for a biomedical engineer to design the aspects relating to the application part of any instruments. So the next part is about the disease itself, because whenever we are going to understand a disease only as such, or only when a disease is completely understood, we can explore or we can do research pertaining to that particular stream of complications involved in the body, as well as to detect those particular complications using our own self-designed instruments as well as the tools to diagnose or to detect those particular deformities or disease as such. So for that we need to understand microbiology as well as pathology, because pathogens are really vital here, and also we have to understand about how these external bacteria or viruses really going to affect the internal organs as well as tissues and cells. So next thing is about the computer science aspect, because as a student who is going to get enrolled himself to become what you call as a biomedical engineer in the future years, he need to get imposed, or he need to understand the basics of instruments and how those instruments work, and what all the necessary software which we are going to imprint on those instruments to work as such for the particular disease is also very essential. In that case, programming is very, very basic requirement for a graduate or an engineer in general. By understanding the programming logics as well as the programming concepts, he himself can be able to design and build instruments as well as diagnose certain deformities through imaging and image processing tools or softwares, as well as he can control these complications using robotic equipments or robotic tools through the programming of that particular robotic module itself. And the computer science aspect also gets branched out into various other substreams, like for example, even this computer science part can be used for a biomedical engineer to enroll himself into nanotechnology, where he can learn about certain nano computing aspects, which will again help in developing tools as well as developing applications for various diseases as such, as well as in genetic engineering also, where we can use the computers for designing certain genes, as well as to understand the gene's reaction over to the that of the external environment through simulation aspects also, as well as the bioinformatics part, because how the drugs going to get react into the human body, all these things can be simulated with the help of a software, as well as it can be generated using computing instruments. So that's how it is. Like bioinformatics can also be clubbed together. So as a biomedical engineer, it's like a vast ocean of study, because he can go himself to various different fields of study, and he has a very good career opportunity where he himself can contribute to the betterment of the society as well as the betterment of the human being. So whatever I'm going to talk about in the upcoming sessions is pertaining to the biomedical itself, and whatever I'm explained here is just a self-explanatory thing. And the research aspect, whatever I have mentioned, like nanotechnology, genetic engineering, and bioinformatics, are really the most thing happening in the past couple of decades. So in the upcoming session, I'm again going to elaborate on other things pertaining to the biomedical engineering. Thanks for your valuable supports, and I hope you really enjoyed getting a what you call as a bird's eye view onto what exactly is biomedical engineering course in general. So I hope you enjoyed viewing this particular video, and I recommend you to also share this topics to your friends and to your relatives or whoever who is interested to get himself dirty in this particular stream of engineering. So thank you one and all, and I hope you all will like the page Learn Biomedical, as well as subscribe to Learn Biomedical channel. Until the next post, signing off, this is Sandesh. Thank you.